Hello, everyone. This is Renegades React, and we have I'm pretty excited about this. We are going to be reacting to Godzilla Resurgence.
Like we're all pretty big Godzilla fans, but this is your wheelhouse, buddy.
Okay,
like, this
so
is all you, man.
Now, I will say this: I liked the 2014 Godzilla. I know a lot of people had some complaints about it. I think they were valid complaints. I thought they did a good job, but this is Toho jumping back into the Godzilla arena. We haven't seen a Toho Godzilla since 2005 Final Wars. And so I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, you know, he's coming back. Now, from I haven't, what little I've seen, this probably isn't the Godzilla that everyone is used to. Typically, they will go kind of in seasons. So whatever director takes the helm, they will kind of go with a certain view of Godzilla. So he's been the hero. I mean, sometimes he's been the villain. Sometimes he's been, you know, kind of this thing of nature. So it looks to me like, I've seen some pictures and stuff, looks to me like Godzilla is returning to his horror roots.
All right.
So, which originally, I mean, Godzilla was it was a horror movie. I mean, this was, you know, kind of this, holy crap, that's terrifying.
Guys, this Godzilla is being directed by Hideki Anno.
All right.
Hideki Anno originally was a illustrator and pretty much almost a second unit director for Hayao Miyazaki.
Okay.
And in one film in particular, his highlights came out, and it was Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. The God Warrior, which right there, that is
it's tainted, dark-sided. Sorry, had a moment.
Okay, so let me show this on screen for everyone else.
Jokes.
At home. Okay.
Sorry, I had a moment.
It's okay. Hideki Anno.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah,
hey.
there it is. Hideki Anno designed the God Warrior, the look and everything, and made it very and tried to make it like very scary and almost like toxic sludge.
I'm not gonna lie, I think he succeeded.
Well, anyway, he also did the Neon Genesis Evangelion series.
Ooh.
Which
all right. Yep.
For the time, it showed scale and size and scope like no anime had shown before.
Yep.
And okay. The fact that Hideki Anno is the director for Godzilla Resurgence to me excites me because I think this is one of his first like real big budget live action films, and for him to handle anime for so long, for him to just dive headfirst into live action like this, especially big budget live action, I'm interested to see what he's going to do.
And not just that, I mean, this is Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like straight up, this is. Ooh.
Yeah.
This is gonna be crazy.
All
right.
All right. Shall we get started?
Absolutely.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, it shows the scope, the size, scope and scale right there,
Oh wow. That's a lot of tanks.
Oh, I love that shot right there.
That is. Those are some cool shots. I just got the weirdest Advance Wars feeling. That Godzilla design is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I'm hype.
Okay.
Dude,
The music is what for me what got me about that. I liked the music, and I heard that Shiro Sagisu, who's been Hideki Anno's composer for like the last 20 years of his animated career, is doing the music to this. Okay. You know, we have comparisons. Between the different artists and everything.
all right.
Hayao Miyazaki is considered the Walt Disney of Japan. Like, hands down, he is considered the Walt Disney. He is like the top echelon. Everybody wants to be Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I mean, and rightly so.
well, and the composer that Miyazaki has used for so long has been Joe Hisaishi. Joe Hisaishi is considered the John Williams of Japan, and rightfully so, because the works that he composes for Miyazaki's films by themselves. I mean, I listened to the different soundtracks from Mononoke Hime and also Sen no Chihiro, Spirited Away.
Yeah.
And also gosh, what was the other one? My Neighbor Totoro. The soundtracks
Oh, yeah.
to all of those soundtracks to all of those films have been stupendous. And sorry, there was a gnat.
Did you get him?
No, I didn't. I still see him flying around. But
Well, we'll see if Mikey gets his chance.
well, anyway, Shiro Sagisu. If you're looking for a comparison as to who he's like here in the West, I would say Hans Zimmer. You know, big, powerful strings and chorus. You know, and just defining scale and scope in such a way with music is really, really good.
All right.
And also, fun. Here's a comparison I also like to make as well. Nobuo Uematsu. One of the more famous composers in video games. I would say comparatively, he's like Danny Elfman, with how he likes to have fun with his themes, like the Sephiroth theme.
Yep.
And everything, how he likes to have fun with his themes, and also where he even plays them live with an actual band, and where Danny Elfman was actually in a band, Oingo Boingo, for those of you who did not know, and they actually did a lot of the music for Weird Science.
Oh yeah.
And you see, that's one thing. You see, you have comparative pieces and everything, you know, with different artists and everything. You know, you're going to compare. That's what we're designed to do in some ways. Our brains, we function in that capacity in a lot of ways. The fact that they gave Anno the responsibility for Godzilla, which is arguably one of Japan's not only most popular exports, but also like the common staple that Japan is known for in film. I mean, they are known for monster movies.
Yeah,
and who's the king of the monsters?
Big giant monsters.
Who is the king of the monsters?
Gojira.
Gojira, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm excited.
This is going to be
Needless to say.
And of course, they really give nothing away. All we know, it's called Godzilla Resurgence.
Yes.
We really have no exposition other than, judging from people's reaction, Godzilla's been gone for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we really know nothing other than just what we've seen.
Also, Godzilla looks like he's
himself.
on fire, basically.
So he looks pretty deformed. So he almost looks, I mean, because you look at his arms and he looks like, and his tail's all chewed up.
Yeah, he's got the little tiny arms.
Yeah, his arms looks like they've lost muscle mass because they look really shriveled there.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and his back is like glowing red.
Glowing red. So and we've got to talk creature design. Also, you saw the mouth. I mean, he has some really jacked up teeth in this one because it looked like he almost had double rows of, jagged teeth.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not really sure. I did some article reading because a lot of people were upset about this creature suit design. And we're not really sure what's going on. We see Godzilla Resurgence. There was a report saying that there were going to be stages.
Oh.
Of decay or growth. But now they're saying that there's not going to be. So I don't know if that was a spoiler and they're trying to cover it up, or this is the Godzilla we're going to have throughout the movie.
Well, I don't know. Probably. Well, I actually saw Godzilla in the very beginning of the trailer when he was roaring.
Mm-hmm.
It looked as though he was. It looked as though he looked like he was in better health.
Right.
That's what I see, because later on in the trailer, he's got red on his face and he looks a little scarred up and jagged.
Yeah.
Whereas earlier on, he was in the trailer. He looked more normal.
Yeah.
And so one of the of course, and this is warranted, one of the most comments I saw, which is true. Everyone's referencing Godzilla vs. Destroya, 1999 or 1995.
Oh yeah.
And so in that, like he's had a couple origins. He's died before.
Yeah.
So in that movie, Godzilla actually died. He was going through a process of, like, he had this crazy nuclear reaction,
meltdown.
and so he was going to go into meltdown. Well, at first he was going to explode, and they inadvertently triggered a meltdown. Basically, where when Godzilla died, he'd essentially implode the entire planet.
That's
From his extremely violent projected death.
a problem.
So
Yeah.
it didn't happen. Of course, everything worked out because it's a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
But this Godzilla design is often called the Burning Godzilla, and so he had these spots of like bright orange where he was literally boiling water swimming through it, and like glowing orange. But that was when they introduced the red spiral ray, where his spikes would glow red. So it was this incredibly powerful but more chaotic atomic ray.
Yeah.
And then they kind of kept that. So, like in Final Wars, he had his standard blue ray, but then he could power up
red.
and use the red spiral ray.
I was gonna say, and didn't also run the risk of making him draining more of his energy by.
I believe it could. They've used it several times, like in the Millennial series.
Yeah.
Because I think in a few of the Millennial series, they actually, I think in the Millennium Godzilla, they exclusively used the red ray. But then they dialed it back and they kind of gave him the option. So this does kind of harken back to the Burning Godzilla, where it does look like he's dying. Because honestly, he kind of looks like a zombie Godzilla or something. I mean, he's pretty jacked up
I was
looking.
sort of thinking that.
And I mean, his arms look really shriveled, and we don't really know the context. We don't know if there are any other monsters. To me, right now, it looks like he's going back to his horror roots. This is like Godzilla's the villain. This is the monster created by a nuclear disaster.
And he is.
This is the horror story
and this
of
is
nuclear
pretty much
war.
a man-made force of nature.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe, I don't know. Looks like he could be dying, which would be odd since they're having, this is like
The
a
reboot.
movie. Yeah, it's been like what, 11 years, over a decade since they've had a Toho Godzilla, and it's like they've got this dying Godzilla. But maybe he's been gone for over a decade, and who knows?
Well, okay. Well,
I'm excited about it. It's a
I am
Toho
as well.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
So
Toho's going back to Godzilla, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I know a lot of people are going to compare this to 2014 Godzilla, which, okay, here's the thing. The trailers for that film did not show any monsters either. It didn't show any other monsters either other than Godzilla. And they actually made it look like Godzilla was going to be the villain.
Right.
Except in this one, it actually shows the military like fully attacking him.
Right.
Whereas they didn't show that. Like, they showed like, the halo jump and everything, and they showed like loading a nuclear missile onto a boat, but that was it. And
yeah, I mean, and to be fair, it's hard to make those comparisons because they're being done by such different groups.
Sure.
yeah.
So-
Well, on one end you have Gareth Edwards, who's relatively new to the directing scene because he did like a monster movie earlier on, and it was like a low budget one, but for what he had, it was tremendous, and that's what won him the job of the Godzilla director. And I think with what they were trying to do with the 2014 Godzilla was they were trying to pretty much retell the origin story to set up a new storyline so that they could do more and pretty much franchise the shit out of American Godzilla.
And then eventually, we could have had Pacific Rim crossed over with Godzilla, which would have been the greatest thing
and
ever.
I think Guillermo del Toro
He wanted it. He wanted it.
That would have
Guillermo
been tremendous.
Nerded the hell out.
Oh yeah.
Guillermo would have nerded the hell out. Godzilla versus a freaking Jaeger.
No,
And then Godzilla teaming up
Yeah.
with the Jaeger.
They would be
like,
like,
come on.
They would be
Yes!
like,
the hypest.
they made this movie years ago. His name was Jet Jaguar.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Well, that was and Godzilla versus Megalon,
Yeah.
which is a horrible, horrible Godzilla film. I didn't like it,
I
but
mean-
I still watched it. I still watched it multiple times because hey, I
Look,
had fun.
I am a huge Godzilla fan.
He is.
I absolutely love every Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I cannot say that they are good films. I love, creature suits are great. The score is usually pretty good. The acting and the story,
Yeah.
But
Well-
that's not why you watch Godzilla movies.
No, well,
true.
but from what I see here, they're actually taking the acting more seriously because they're
Yes.
doing a lot of close-up shots
Yep.
with these actors, and you're like seeing the frustration and the tension on their faces as to the impending doom that's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
really, they tell you what you need to know. They don't really give away anything. You just know it's a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
He's big and he's scary and everyone's freaked out.
the only audible
Yeah.
dialogue during this entire thing was Godzilla's roar.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, other than that, you had Shiro Sagisu's beautiful score, which whenever the soundtrack comes out, I'm probably going to buy it because I love that. I love that. Just that swelling. The strings and the chorus. I love that.
And let's be fair. Let's hope the march is in there.
Oh man, it
Yeah.
probably will be. It probably will be. I was going to say I was hoping it was going to be in the 2014 Godzilla.
Yeah, and then it was.
No,
Like,
it
wait,
wasn't.
what?
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Well, but that wasn't Toho though.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
So I've seen a lot of complaints about the creature suit design. I'm not a fan of it. Like this is a really messed up Godzilla. I don't really like it. But I'm excited because it's a Godzilla movie. I don't know because we
Yeah.
don't know anything. We don't
No,
know
we
why
don't.
they're doing it. But yeah, he's super jacked up looking, and I'm not a fan. But there's obviously a reason for it, and I'm interested to find out because Godzilla is kind of one of those things. He goes in seasons, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Like as a kid, I was kind of introduced, like I watched TNT Monster Vision, so I was always introduced to like the hero Godzilla. But I mean, he started out as a horror character, and I think occasionally we need to make him a horror character.
Yeah, I remember watching like back when I was a kid, like the original 1954 Godzilla. My grandfather, it was actually on way back. Man, I can't remember what TV station it was on, but lo and behold, there it was. And Godzilla at first scared. I thought because for me it was like when people first saw the first Terminator movie, they only thought of the Terminator as a villain.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Terminator 2 came out, and it's like, oh, reprogrammed, so he can be a hero as well.
And suddenly it's just like, and the Terminator's a hero now.
Yeah. And
Wait, what?
I remember like when I the second Godzilla movie that I watched, it was actually Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I was just like, so Godzilla's helping this time.
Right.
Maybe he made friends with him and all. This is
Well,
my child logic.
yeah.
Working. It's sick
Which
little magic.
They made a movie where King Ghidorah was the protagonist and Godzilla was the villain,
Which is weird to think about.
yeah, because it was like there was like he was sort of this like force of nature, and he was things were out of balance, and so Godzilla was fighting through these monsters. It's kind of like this metaphor for humans like letting go of hatred and giving up on needless wars. So ultimately, it was Godzilla and humanity forgiving each other. The end was the resolution.
There he is, King
Kinda bizarre.
Ghidorah.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it is interesting. I mean, because this Godzilla originally was an illustration for the horrors of nuclear war. So I mean, he was supposed to be something terrifying, and they've used him for different messages over the years.
There it is.
And like I said, I mean,
1991. Wow, I was.
because we really don't know where this is going to pick up, because some Godzilla movies there's continuity between them, and then others they just ditch everything and
Start
do a new
anew.
origin
Yeah.
story.
Well-
Like Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
With the Dorats and whatever the crap that was, aliens from the future. I mean, that was a great suit design. Loved it, but yeah, that was weird.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like you said, there are no spoilers in
Right.
this. Like, we've seen Godzilla. We've seen some people running around. I'm interested to see what this is going to turn out to be, but it could be anything. We
yeah,
don't
it
know.
could be. And that's kind of the allure of the Godzilla movie. That's just like, I went and saw the 2014 Godzilla blind. I was just like, I didn't read any reviews or anything like that. I went in blind.
I don't think I did either. Like, the only thing that I'd heard was from Micah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I love the 2014 Godzilla.
And, like, I saw that and I'm like, this is really good.
Oh, fun little fact as well. This Godzilla is now the official tallest Godzilla in terms of scale and everything.
He looked pretty, yeah.
Yeah, he's...
As far as proportions,
biggin'.
his tail is ridiculously long, which that kind of harkens back to Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. He had a pretty long tail, but this is the longest Godzilla by far.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And And I've seen a lot of comments that people think his tail is ridiculous because his tail is, I mean, like 1.5 times his height. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know.
It is what
Anyway,
it is.
we should probably wrap this up because we could talk about this all night.
Yeah, put a bow on
I
it.
could. All
Yeah.
right. Well, what do you think, everyone? I'm excited for it. I'm sure the comment section is going to run rampant with it. Every comment section
Feel
I've
free.
seen on this.
Feel free.
Yeah. Just keep
People,
it civil,
I mean,
guys.
but see, that's the thing, though. People are talking about it. That's a good thing.
Oh, yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm pumped for this. Cannot wait to see it. Hopefully you are too. But in the meantime, please check our description for our related content, and hopefully we will see you all very soon.